Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Happy Tuesday, November 26th. I can't even believe it is the end of November. Less than a month until Christmas, and kind of freaking out about that a little bit. Good morning, Arlette. Good morning. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited because I'm going to share a bunch of cool things going on for Black Friday promotions at Picket. And I'm also going to be playing with stencils today. So a little bit different setup from what I normally do. I had initially planned on showing you guys the new A2 rectangle, vintage rectangles die set that we have that came out with this past release. If I have time, I might show that at the end, but otherwise I'm gonna do that next week. Instead, since this is, sale time, whoop, whoop, I thought I would come on today and share with you what we've got going on the Picket Fence website and share with you a bunch of ways you can use your stencils. Hello, Victoria. Thanks for joining us. So for those of you that don't know me, my name's Charlene Madrid. I am on the design team with Picket Fence Studios, and I go live most Tuesdays at 12 o'clock Central. Sometimes that changes just depending on life, but most Tuesdays you can find me here. How is everyone? I am well, Victoria. Thank you. I'm very well today. I'm going to be trying a new thing too with my tech, so we'll see how that goes, right? So you guys are going to get to see my face a lot more than usual today too. Let me first and foremost, okay, the sound is off on there. Give me just a second, and sound's off on there. I don't know what's dinging. I still can't figure that out. It's really super annoying. All right. How do we do this now? I'm going to show you guys. Okay. Let's turn this on. I want to be able to show you my computer screen. Oh, well, that's lame. Let's see. Oh, it looks like you can see it. Okay. Let's see. How do we... Oh, look at that. That's so cool. Hi, Arlette. Oh, I already said hi, Arlette. It's foggy and cold in Western Oregon. Well, it's kind of, there's a little bit of grayness going on. No rain yet today, which is nice. It rained yesterday, so that was lame. Okay, so somebody tell me, you should be able to see my page here for Picket Fence Studios, right? Can you guys see that? I hope so. So right here, big front and center. Check out this awesome, graduated free gift that Picket Fence has going on for Black Friday. So first and foremost, free 5 slimline envelopes with any purchase. Okay, hey Rebecca, how are you? I don't think I can post comments while I'm doing this view. I'm not seeing a way to do that, but hi. So with any order, 5 free slimline envelopes, and they're different colors. If you spend $25, a sequin mix. If you spend $50, you get, in addition, right, to the slimline envelopes, the sequin mix, you also get a stamp scrubber. And then if you spend $75, in addition to those things, you also get a rainbow desk trivet, which I use this all the time for, I keep it in my, you can use it for all kinds of things. Like you could use this for your coffee or whatever. It's super cute, or as decoration. I like to put my papers on it when I'm heat embossing an entire A2 panel, and it works really great because the air can kind of get under there, but it keeps your little fingers safe. So that, if you spend $75, and then if you spend $100, you also get the 9-pack of the rainbow paper pouncers, which, you guys, those are like $40 or something by themselves. I don't know, 30, 35. I can't tell you exactly off the top of my head, but that's like a huge deal, right? So you get all of those freebies if you spend $100, plus if you spend, what is it? I think it's over $60. You get free shipping. So like we're already talking about all those freebies plus free shipping if you spend $100. And then in addition to that, the store is 25% off. Like, I think Nicole lost her mind with all of this. The only things that the 25% off doesn't apply to, I believe, is the release for October and the release for November. And that's because we don't want to compete with our small retailers that we send product out to wholesalers that purchase, like, you know, the scrapbook store down the street, or like Simon Says Stamp or something like that, right? We don't want to mess with the newest releases so that they have the ability to also sell them. But if you do want something from the newest releases, you could, you wouldn't get the 25% off, but you would still get all of those awesome freebies. So, like, I'm telling you guys. Also, I wanted to point out, if you go to, let's see, shop, and then do the drop down menu, and you go here to tools. This is one of my favorite places on the Picket Fence Studios website. That includes these things, right? Like it includes the Gina K Fuse foiling system, which is in stock. So you could get 25% off of this, right? It includes I don't know if it includes the new stamp wheel, but we do still have some of the original stamp wheel. I'm kind of clicking through here, guys. Sorry if I'm going fast. But let's see, where is it? Oh, it's sold out. Bummer. But paper pouncers are in here. Olo markers. So if you've been eyeing the new, it's around here somewhere. Where is it? The new 32 set of Olo markers. You can get that for 25% off. This fun toolbox that we recently started carrying from Totally Tiffany, like Misty Corners, all kinds of things. So inks from Altenew, all that stuff 25% off, which is really good deal when you take into account if you spend enough to get free shipping and you get all of those freebies. Like, yeah, I had a cart going already, so I had to open a new page here to show you guys. So that includes also things like foam tape, blender brushes, just so many different things. Okay, so if you're gonna shop, I'll do my kind of like shameless plug. I would love it if you use my link. So pinned in the comments and also in the description is going to be a link for shopping that's an affiliate link. So I receive a small commission if you go through that purchase, if you purchase through that link, but it doesn't cost you anything. The other thing I wanted to show you was today's promotion. So like every day they're doing a promotion, and they'll put certain things in this section of Black Friday promotions And you can get to that by going to shop and then right up here, Black Friday promotions, or from the main page. If you go down here, whatever the current promotion is going to be right here. So if you click there, it'll take you there. But you can see like the paper inking palettes are in there. And right now there are a ton of stencils in there. So these are already marked down. Some of them are marked down up to 70% off. Plus with that code, you get an additional 25% off. So let's say, for example, I wanted this Candlelight 6x6 stencil, which is really pretty. I'll come in here, add it to my cart. And then you can see here with that code BF2025, it takes an additional 25% off. Like $2.25 for a stencil, y'all. Like, come on. I know I'm saying like a lot, but it's just a little bit mind-blowing. You can get so much stuff with this sale. So that's my piece about the sale. I wanted to right away tell you guys about it because it's a really, really good Black Friday sale. And you can keep coming back and checking out what's going on. There's also this Black Friday mystery box right now, which is $40, and it just includes like an assortment of stuff that has a $100 value. So that's also kind of fun if you want to get surprised. You guys know I love surprises, but some people don't. But seriously, check that out. Okay, that's my spiel. Now let's see if I can magically figure out how to go back to the other view. Let's see. Can I do it? Hey, I did it. I'm so proud of myself. I figured out how to share my screen. And you guys got to do it with me. Hey, Joan. Now I can add comments again. So, we are going to drop down here. We're going to have some fun with stencils in honor of the fact that it is, there's stencil specials going on. Now, I'm not necessarily going to pull out the ones that are on special. I might use some of them, but you'll just have to look and see. So here's one I know that's in there that's on special that I really like. So we'll pull that one out. That is the, what is it? Rainbow of Hearts A2 stencil. And why don't we just play with that one for now? Because you can do all of these techniques that I'm going to show you with any stencil. So let's do that. Oftentimes when we look at a stencil, we think, okay, we're going to put some ink through it, which we can. So maybe for our first thing, let's just do some inking. I'm going to try and show you 5 different ways to use your stencils. Rebecca, right? I know, I say that too, but I never buy tickets, so I don't think that's ever going to happen. Okay. I've got some A2 sized cardstock here. I cut it down. And this is 110 pound Nina because I wasn't sure what kind of techniques and stuff I was going to be doing. But with this A2 size stencil, you can just put your stencil right along the edge here, and we're going to get this nice little rainbow that comes up. And of course I wasn't fully prepared. Let me pull this guy up. So this is the 8x8 paper inking palette. It's this. I'm very lucky in that I have all of them, but this is probably my preferred size, and I like to just leave the back on there so that I can still move it around, but that I can stick my stencils and my cardstock on there. I'm gonna grab my paper pouncers here. I think we'll just use the full-size ones. Oh, this would be a good time too to get the minis, right? Because the with that Black Friday code. I'm gonna let's grab a pink maybe, and a yellow, and a blue. What blue do we want? Maybe we'll do like a aqua more than a true blue. So I've got Coral Berry, Warm Sunshine, and Ocean Waves. And we're going to create our own little rainbow with just those colors. So I'm going to first use my pink pouncer here, and I'll just pounce this right over about a little bit more than a third, because I want these colors to blend to create our secondary colors. This is really on the red side of a pink, this Coral Berry. It's kind of like a peachy pink red. I don't know. That's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm sticking to it. All right, so I'm gonna bring this up, kind of fade it out a little bit on the edge. Then I'll bring in my blue from this side. And bring this about the same distance. And you see how quickly you could color in stencils. Probably at least once a month, someone asks me if I still use my paper pouncers and if I still love them, and I do. I honestly do. I love the fully saturated look that you get with paper pouncers. Everything is kind of like even. The coloring is even. You don't get, sometimes when you're using brushes, ink blending brushes, which I love, I use them all the time, but you don't get quite the same evenness to your coloring, which I prefer the look of having that even coloring. So I'm going to just wipe off the little bit of excess ink that might be on there so I don't get it into my yellow. There wasn't very much at all. And now we'll bring in our yellow in the center and bring this right up. And we'll go over into the Coral Berry to create our orange. And we'll go over into the blue to create our green. Look how easy that was to create our nice little rainbow. I'll probably bring this down even a little bit more on each side. Right there. Now we have a pretty rainbow. Yay. Okay. So that's done. Let me move these out of the way. So first way to use your stencils is to just ink blend through them. That of course is easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Let's close this up and take our stencil off. Oh, I'm gonna, while I have it down here, I'm just gonna lightly wipe it off. Oh, and I have to show you guys, I'll try to remember, I got a new, these are things that crafters get excited about. I got a new bin, like water bin, to put my stencils in for when I'm doing mixed media. And it's very silly, but I bought it and it's like, I think perfect, frankly. So let's peel this up. And there we have a beautiful, perfect, lovely rainbow. So pretty. We'll set this aside. Now for the second way, you can use your stencils. I'm actually going to clean this off more. So let me grab my flour sack towel. And the way I like to clean my stencils is I just spritz them with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and then I wipe them with a flour sack towel. The towel really helps to keep the little bits on your stencils from catching, so you don't bend your stencils. There we go. So we'll put this down in the same spot. Oh, before I do that, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to get some anti-static powder because we are going to heat emboss with a stencil. So I'm going to get some anti-static powder down there. We'll bring our stencil in, lay it over the top. It's not quite centered, but that's okay. We'll just leave it. We'll just leave it. Hey, Karen. Oh, thanks, Rebecca. You guys are sweet. Okay, let me grab now. You can do this with a You can do this with a brush, or you could do direct to your cardstock. So you could like take your embossing ink pad and just smush it into those grooves. But I really like how easy it is with the Pouncers. So I keep a white Pouncer that I use just with my embossing ink, so that way I don't have to worry about messing up my ink pad. And I know that if I'm pouncing this, I'm going to get it into all those little areas and not miss anything. We're going to come along and get this nice and inked. And in fact, I might even break out something that I haven't ever used, which really probably do need to get some love. I have some Distress embossing glazes. I think I'll break those out. We can see how it goes together. So you just want to make sure you've gotten into all the little spots and that you've got a good amount of your embossing ink on there, because you want your embossing powder, or in this case embossing glaze, you want to make sure that it sticks. I think we're pretty good there. So now I will set this aside. I'm going to move these for now. Let's get out this guy. And let's get out some, I don't even know what colors I have. I've literally never opened them. Let's see, I've got a blue here. That's pretty, I like that. And a pink. What is this? This is like a darker blue. And I've got, looks like maybe cracked pistachio. Let's do the blues and green, like the cracked pistachio. Let's do that color combo. So I'm gonna grab my paper. See, I like that because I can just move it, right? Having it so that I don't have to, don't have it stuck to my work surface. It makes it easier. So I'm gonna pull off my stencil, set that out of the way, and then just I can fold my paper inking palette to get that off of there. How is it? You guys, my desk is already covered and I just started. So let's pull this one out. This looks like broken china. I'm not certain. So I'm going to just do a little bit of broken china up on this part. Oh, that looks cool. Okay, then I'll put that back. You could dump all three on there at once if you wanted, right? And do it that way. I'm trying to be, I don't know, trying to not contaminate my stuff and be able to still save my leftover powder. Now I'll come in with a cracked pistachio here, and I'm going to kind of overlap it. And then we'll just sort of shake that around. Ooh, look, that looks pretty. It's not even melted yet, and I think it's going to look nice. Real nice. Close this up before we dump it everywhere. And then let's come in with this blue. Well, this has got like a different... See if I can open it without cutting myself. I get very impatient with wrapping. Do you guys get impatient with the stuff that's like the sealant kind of stuff? I almost get like angry with it. I'm like, how dare you be closing my product? Okay, this one has a seal on it. I think I might have opened those other ones and never actually used them. I don't know. I've had them a long time. Okay, there we go. Overlap that a little bit. That looks pretty. I'll set this here. Guess I can throw this away. And then we can heat up our heat gun and get to making some magic happen. Okay. Go down there. So you do this again with any embossing powder or any embossing glaze. You can use your stencils to create whatever that image is. So let me heat up my heat gun. I'm gonna drink a coffee while I do that. Yay, coffee. I woke up at 4:30 this morning, you guys, and I could not fall back asleep. I was, you know, like, does that happen to you where your brain just starts going? I started thinking about stuff I needed to get done and things I was going to do today. And I just, like, could not fall back asleep. I ended up just finally getting up because I was like, I might as well start my day. So we're going to make sure these are all nice and melted. When you are using something like trivet, it can take a little bit longer for your stuff to melt, okay? So keep that in mind. You might be going, why hasn't it started melting? Well, sometimes it can take just a little bit of extra time, but like now we have all of that fun, shiny goodness. And it looks to all, oh, no, see, I missed a spot. Is it all melted now? I think so. Pretty. So you could mix your embossing powders too to do something like that. That's really pretty. All right, let's get this out of the way. Back to its home down here in my embossing drawer. And let's put our embossing ink pad away and put these away. Yay! You guys got to use something with me that I just haven't used. Okay, I'm gonna wipe my surface off here with my shirt because I hate the way that embossing powder feels. And this is pretty much anything that I wear nowadays. I don't care if it gets messy. So now, because this is sealed in there, right? This is melted on there. You could do emboss resist. You could do all kinds of different fun techniques on there. You could ink blend over this and it's gonna resist it. In fact, let's just do that real quick. We've got time today. We're just playing. We are just playing today, you guys. Let's bring in some purple. Got some Be Grateful here. And now, what's fun with the glazes, which is why I got them in the first place, is if you do like you can kind of see through them. Oh man, I didn't melt everywhere. See? I was going too fast. But if you use a different color under them, because they are kind of transparent, you can see the color shift. But here we've got some purple ink blended back behind there. I'll bring it in from the side. And kind of fade it off here. Do it real light up here at the top. Just get a little bit more on here. Until you're happy. I think that looks pretty good. But that's going to resist the ink. So then you can come in with a microfiber cloth of some sort, and you can buff off any of that excess ink that's sitting on there, and it's going to brighten your colors back up. There. Pay no attention to this spot. We'll hide that with the finger. And so this is obviously going to dry nicer, so you don't have that kind of splotchiness right there. But that's a second way you can use it. That's one of my favorite ways to use a stencil if I'm trying to like get a bit of a wow factor, and I'll do it with like a gold embossing powder or something. It looks very pretty. So we've got ink blending through a stencil. We have got embossing through a stencil. Let's clean our surface up here. You guys guess where we're gonna go next? I'm sure somebody can. That's my favorite thing to do with stencils. My all-time favorite. It's some mixed media magic. So we're gonna use some paper glaze. Oh yeah, you could stock up on paper glazes right now. Like, that's another good idea. Okay, got a nice clean stencil now. So let's bring our palette back in here. And I'm going to cut another piece of cardstock down. What's everybody up to? You guys getting ready for my US friends? Are you guys getting ready for Thanksgiving? My kiddo, my oldest, he comes home tomorrow, from college. So I'm excited to see him. His girlfriend is driving him down. So I think I'm going to probably be meeting the girlfriend, which should be fun. She seems like a very nice girl. Lady, woman, I don't know. What do you call somebody in their early 20s? I don't want to say it wrong. I guess probably woman. I don't mind though, because people call me girl. Maybe I should mind. I don't know. I don't. Coffee is life. Let's grab some. Let's see, what do we have for this month? What is our sampler? We've got, oh yeah, that's right. We have the Sunny Skies sampler set this month, which has, it's really loud, sorry. Oh, you're trying to get ready for Thanksgiving and you have to make Christmas cards? You busy lady. I don't know. We'll see how Christmas cards go this year, guys. We'll see. I've got quite a few made, but I don't think it's going to cover what I need. So we'll have to see. So we've got this lovely yellow. I think this is Aztec sunflowers. And then this might be Twinkle Light Silver. And then this I know is Ocean Poppy. And so that is in the sampler. This is great for all of the we have a lot of hot air balloon stuff in this release if you didn't see the live last week. So this goes really, really well with that. So let's bring in a spatula. And I'm going to be, oh, you don't want my hair on there. Go away here. I'm going to do, I think, ooh. Probably a good idea to tap these down before I open them. Okay. And then some of this. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a combo. I think I'm going to do, I'll take it off the lid here. I think I'm going to do kind of a stripey, almost mixed pattern. So we'll come in here and we're going to add some Ocean Poppy on the side. And then on this side. And then we can add it in the center as well. I keep wanting to grab the jar instead of using what's on my lid. Come here. And then we'll go from the center. I'm going to turn this to make it easier on myself. So I'll go in the center like so. That looks good. Okay. All right, now I can put what's left here back in my jar. Close this up. I'm going to wipe off my palette knife so I don't cross-contaminate here. And then we will get some of our twinkle lights. I'm going to put some there. I'm going to try and get what's off of the lid here. See if that'll be enough. I don't know if it will be. I might need a little bit more. But we'll go with this for now. So now I'm going to work this in here. And I don't care if it's mixing, because that's kind of my goal, is to get a little bit of a mix. And in fact, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go along just like this. So that I can kind of scrape as I go and it'll go into that next one. Yeah. So now we'll do this side. that on there. Okay, so now we can just kind of clean up any leftovers. Okay, so we'll get a little bit of sparkle on the areas that went into the blue, right? The ocean poppy. Clean this off because you don't want to put a lid back on that has any of your glaze or your twinkle lights or anything, because then it will essentially like get stuck. You won't be able to open it. And that's not what we want, right? Or let your food, yeah, see, I just don't ever know. Like, I don't think I use dear. I do say lovely a lot to women that I know. I think I picked that up from Jen, frankly. Jen Cray, who does a ton of stuff here at Picket Studios, because she's near, not near London, but she's in England. And I hope that doesn't offend people. All right, let's pull this up. I love the reveal. Uh-oh, what happened there? It did not take all the way. Hold on. Let's see if I can salvage this heart right there that didn't want to fully cover. No. Oh, I see. It went. Okay. All right. It went under a little bit. That's why. That's okay. I was messing around too much and talking, and you know, who knows what's going to happen. I'm going to put this in my bin of water over here. Wipe this off. And that is done. So now, when this dries, hopefully it'll dry. It should dry pretty quickly, but it's going to have some really pretty sparkle to it. And it'll kind of mix with that blue. Pretty. All right, I'm going to set this over here to dry so I don't stick my fingers into it, because we all know that is possible. Let me grab my water spray. Spritz this on here. What are your favorite ways to use stencils? Curious. Those are probably the three main ways that I use my stencils, but there are other fun ways that I'm going to show you. Up next is one of my, like, the effect is really cool. I love how it looks. I just don't tend to think about it, so I don't use it very often. So let's put this out of the way, because we don't need that for this next one. Put this out of the way, stack our ink up, put our paper glazes back. Yeah, exactly. And when it dries, it's gonna look even prettier, Karen. Because the twinkle lights, when it is wet, you can't really see all of the twinkle. I'll deal with this later when we're not live. Let me set it over here out of the way. Okay. Ooh, I can show you guys my bin now. I should have linked this. So I got this. This is so cool. This is, how big is this? I think it's the perfect size for stencils. It is just under 12 inches by 8 1/4 inches. So I like it because it's big enough to fit pretty much any stencil that I'm going to use. It's deep, so it is, of course I put my ruler away. It is 4 inches deep, so it's deep enough to fit your stencils in there. But here's the coolest part about it, guys. it collapses. So you see that gray part right there? It's actually like a soft silicone. So when I'm done using it, I rinse out my bin, dry it off, and then I can collapse it and easily store it. So I don't have this giant bin that I'm having to deal with. Isn't that cool? So pleased. Silly, crafty things that make me happy. I do need to get now a dedicated scrubby brush up here to keep with this. So I'm just kind of rubbing this to get the paper glitz and glaze off. But normally I would use a nylon brush to clean my stencils. That is the only thing I will use to clean my stencils. It doesn't tend to snag on the little bitty parts of the stencil, which is really nice. Okay, I think we're pretty clean here. Probably good enough for what I want to do. So let me grab my flour sack towel here. Scooch this. And now I can dry it with the flour sack towel, and it should hopefully get any of that extra little bit of paper glaze off, at least to the point that we need it off for this technique. And then you can also, since I don't have my scrubby brush, I'm going to just kind of spritz this with some alcohol, rubbing alcohol. That kind of helps to get the paper glaze off. But you wouldn't want to do that like right away. You would want to first clean your stencil how it's supposed to be cleaned with water, because otherwise it's going to make a big mess. But that can help to get off any little last residual bits. And I'll clean this better later as well. Okay, I think that's good enough. Oh, I'm gonna do it one more time. Just kidding, guys. I always think I'm gonna do something, and then I'm like, no, my crazy needs it to be completely clean. I try to be chill and laid back. It's just not my strong suit, you guys. I'm a little bit crazy when it comes to things. You probably know that about me though by now, I should hope. Okay, now I'm happier. Ting! Happy Char. Let's move this out of the way now. And I like that it's deeper. It's like 4 inches, I said. So it means I'm less likely to spill it when I am carrying it to and from my craft room. Because you know, if you're carrying like a shallow dish, which is usually what I carry around, and it's usually like a casserole sized dish, it tends to want to like splash everywhere, which I'm kind of clumsy. So that's not a good combo. Okay, we are going to come in here, and you might be wondering, okay, what the heck are you doing, Charlene? Why are you using half sheet of paper? Well, I find that this technique works better using a larger sheet of cardstock, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tape this with some low tack tape, whatever kind of low tack tape you got. And we're going to tape this along the top edge. And we're doing this because we're creating a hinge, right? So this can easily flip up and it'll go right back in the same spot. So now what we're gonna do, so we're gonna bring in our ink pads and we'll use, let's use these again. We'll create a rainbow again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ink pad, and this can be kind of messy. Oh, I'll just clean it off when it's done. But we're just going to kind of dab this directly onto our stencil. Don't worry, it'll be okay. Don't fret, my friends. Okay. I'm gonna make sure you get it all the way through there though. And then I'm gonna come in with my blue on this side. Same kind of thing. I'm just sort of swiping and turning a little bit to get that ink to go on the stencil. You could use a brayer for this. That is another way that I do this. I am not using a brayer right now because I want to show you kind of this more messy looking result. Close these up. Now I'm going to carefully flip my stencil over like so. And now I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine. Got my die cutting machine. And we're going to use, you're going to want whatever your machine uses for embossing, that's what you're going to want. So I'm going to grab my, where is it? Come on. I probably should have had this out already, but I did not. So for my machine, it's the platform base, and it's the tan embossing mat, and then this blue embossing plate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over like so. And this will get on your embossing mat a little bit, but that's okay. It cleans off easy. Then we'll put our embossing mat here. And then our embossing plate like so. And now we're going to run this through our die cutting machine. So we're doing two things with this. We're applying pressure, which is going to cause that ink, and I'm going to run it back the other way. It's going to cause that ink to transfer onto our cardstock. It's also going to give us a dry embossed impression of our stencil. So we're doing like a 2-for-1 kind of here. These are two techniques. You can dry emboss with a stencil, and you also can do this inking technique. All right, let's see how we did. I'm going to move this out of the way. And if you use a brayer when you're doing this, you're going to get a softer look. You're not going to get kind of this more mixed media-y kind of look. But do you see that? Isn't that fun? Gives you, these are kind of raised, and then you have this fun inky background. So now you can see all that ink has been soaked up by the paper. So now I can come in with my yellow, which is going to go in the center, so that way I didn't have to worry about cross-contamination on my ink pad. In case you were wondering why I skipped the yellow, I think I failed to mention that. So now we'll come in with our yellow down down the center here and a little bit over. And this is going to create our rainbow. So again, I'm just kind of smushing and kind of turning a little bit to get that ink out of this. I think I went a little bit too far over, which can happen. So I'm just going to grab the paper towel here, kind of take a little bit of that yellow off the edge there. I think I went a little too far. Come back in to make it that same kind of messy look. And since we have this hinge, we know that when we close this, it's going to go right back in that same spot. And we don't have to worry. Now I'm moving a little bit faster anyway than I would normally move. And I'm also talking, which tends to make me a little bit more clumsy anyway. So this is not, I'm not claiming this is a perfect result. I will not claim that. But it's a really fun technique. So if you've never done this, it's a fun way to get something new out of your stencils. So same thing, we're going to put this back on our platform. We're going to put our tan embossing mat right over the top. And then our blue embossing plate. And then I'm going to run this through. That'll transfer that yellow ink right on there. I like to do it twice. I don't know if that's really necessary. It's just a personal preference. So whatever works well for you on that. I'll set this aside. Get this out of the way now. And now we can do our reveal. There. Isn't that fun? And then we're going to trim it down. So it'll look even cleaner when you trim it down. But if you want it to be less, again, if you want it to be less, oh look, this tape was too sticky. Should have used a not quite so tacky tape. But if you want this result to be smoother, again, remember, just take a brayer. Take a brayer, and after you've put the ink onto the stencil, rub it over the ink so it smooths it a little bit. So we can trim this down, and this will give us a nice clean background with a fun kind of rainbowy pattern. So now let's cut down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You can see everything always looks better when it's cut down. But can you see how those are raised? So this is kind of a 2-for-1. You could just dry emboss with your stencil. Oh, that's a good shot right there. They're textured. So you could dry emboss, but you could also ink. So you could, it's a fun way to just kind of do an entire background, right? And then you could take this from here, and let's say you wanted to, I don't know, spritz this with water. Great, let's do it. Why not? That ink is going to kind of move around a little bit on there and sort of mix together a little bit more. It's your card. Do whatever you want. Sometimes it's fun to just sort of play and maybe not do exactly what you're supposed to. Try something. Even if I don't use this background, it's still valuable because I am learning, if I've never done it before, how to create new things, new techniques that I can use going forward in my card making, right? So don't let fear enter its way into your crafting. Hi, Yvette. Doing some babysitting, huh? Let's see. Oh, Arlette, you were offended because it was a stranger. Yeah, I could see that for sure. I think it just depends on the context, right? Or the situation. So has anybody done this technique before where they ink up their stencil and then dry emboss with it? I made a video, I don't know, several years ago now, where I did this technique. And every once in a while, it's a fun technique to kind of break out and do. Especially if you have, you can also do this with like pigment inks or distress oxide inks, and they're going to give you a different look as well because they're going to sit on that stencil differently. But there we go. We've got, first we did just straight ink blending or ink pouncing. Then we did heat embossing by using embossing ink through our stencil, which is fun. We did distress glaze with that one. And then we did this guy, which is still wet at this point, but now you can sort of start to see it a little bit better. Some of that sparkle. There you go. Yeah, so you got the shine from the glaze. Oh, that's a good view right there. And then the sparkle. Very pretty. And then we did some inked stenciling with dry embossing. There we go. So we've got lots of different techniques that we went over for ways to use your stencil. This is not by any means exhaustive, but you can see already that's like 5 different ways you can use your stencils. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then there are even more. So stencils are one of, I think, probably the most versatile and in some ways underrated products. So if you don't have a lot of stencils, today is the day, y'all, to get yourself some stencils. Let me switch you over. Hi. So I don't have any card to give away today, but I'll be back next Tuesday, and we will be doing something fun with the new release next Tuesday. I just really wanted to share what was going on with the Black Friday deals and show you guys some ways to use stencils so you could see the value for getting some stencils. Definitely be sure to shop my links, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. I'll see you next week, okay? Enjoy, if you're in the US and you celebrate Thanksgiving, enjoy your Thanksgiving. I am looking so forward to pie. You have no idea. I'm salivating just thinking about it. So I'll report back and let you know how the pie came out. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye.